Guys, you won't believe what just happened in the Roloff family. Tori Roloff, yes, our favorite mom from Little People Big World, just gave birth to twin babies. But before you think it's all joy and celebration, oh no, there's a twist that'll make your heart skip a beat. Zach Roloff's reaction? Let's just say, happiness, shock, and tears all mixed into one emotional storm. So grab your seat, because what I'm about to tell you is not just a story, it's a roller coaster of love, fear, and the miracle of life itself. Now, let's start from the moment that changed everything. Just a few days ago, Tori and Zach thought they were preparing for the arrival of one baby, their fourth child. The hospital bags were packed, the nursery was ready, and the whole family was buzzing with excitement. But during a late-night checkup, something unexpected happened. The doctor looked at the monitor, paused for a second, and then turned to them with the biggest smile. Tori, Zach, it looks like you're having two babies. You can imagine their faces. Tori's eyes wide in disbelief, Zach's jaw literally dropping. Twins. Can you believe it? After 3 beautiful kids, Jackson, Lila, and little Josiah, they were about to welcome 2 more. But here's where it gets emotional. The pregnancy wasn't easy. Tori had been open before about complications and fears. She'd faced a miscarriage in the past, and every doctor visit came with anxiety. So hearing she was carrying twins was both a blessing and a heavy weight on her heart. Let's rewind a little. Months before the birth, Tori had been sharing glimpses of her pregnancy journey online. Fans noticed she looked more radiant than ever, glowing, smiling, laughing with the kids. But what no one saw was the late nights, the exhaustion, and the moments she quietly broke down, afraid something might go wrong. Zach, being the supportive husband he is, tried to stay strong. He cooked meals, helped with the kids, and made sure Tori felt safe every step of the way. In one clip, Tori said something that melted hearts. I never thought I'd be strong enough to do this again. But Zach and our kids remind me why I am. You could tell, this pregnancy meant something deeper. It wasn't just about growing their family, it was about healing old wounds, finding hope again, and trusting life's surprises. Then came the day that no one will forget. The morning started like any other. The Roloff home was filled with laughter, Jackson chasing Lila, Josiah giggling in his high chair. But around noon, Tori suddenly felt something different, a strong rhythmic pain. She looked at Zach and whispered, "It's time." Within minutes, the house turned into a whirlwind. Bags, car seats, cameras, everything packed. Zach's hands were shaking as he drove to the hospital, but his heart was pounding even faster. At the hospital, nurses rushed her in. The doctor's expression was calm but serious. And then, just like that, everything went silent. The beeping of machines, the muffled voices, it was like time stopped. Zach held her hand, whispering, "You've got this, Tori. You always do." Hours passed. Tori's strength was unbelievable. And then, the cry of the first baby broke through the silence. A beautiful baby boy. Zach's eyes filled with tears. But before he could even take a full breath, another cry echoed through the room. A baby girl. Twins, 1 boy and 1 girl. The nurses smiled, the doctor nodded, and Tori just looked at Zach with tears streaming down her face. They did it. The Roloff family just grew by 2. Now let's talk about Zach's reaction, because this man's heart was pure gold that day. When he saw both babies lying side by side, tiny and perfect, he couldn't hold it in. He cried. Real, raw tears. He kissed Tori's forehead and whispered, "You're incredible. I don't deserve you." And Tori, exhausted but smiling, said softly, "You're the reason I made it through." It was one of those moments that remind you what true love looks like. Not the kind you see in movies, but the kind built through struggles, late nights, fear, and faith. Zach later shared a message with fans. "We thought our family was complete. But God had a different plan. Our hearts are overflowing." Fans went wild. Within hours, social media was flooded with messages like, "Tori, you're a superhero mom." "Zach, the way you love your family is inspiring." "Welcome to the world, little Roloff twins." Meanwhile, back at home, Amy Roloff, the proud grandma, couldn't contain her joy. She posted a photo holding both babies, saying, "Double the blessing, double the love." Even Matt Roloff, who's always been the strong, calm type, broke into a huge smile. He said, "These little ones already own my heart." The Roloff farm soon turned into a celebration zone. Jackson and Lila kept running around shouting, "We have babies! We have babies!" Josiah just kept giggling, completely unaware that his world had just changed forever. But as every story has its twist, this joy came with a small scare. Right after birth, doctors noticed that the baby girl needed a bit of help breathing. She was rushed to a neonatal unit, and Tori's heart dropped. For a moment, time froze. The excitement turned to fear. Zach tried to stay calm, but you could see the worry in his eyes. Hours felt like days. Finally, the doctor came out with a smile. "She's going to be just fine. She's strong, just like her mom." That moment, it changed everything. The Roloffs realized how fragile life can be, but also how beautiful it is when love pulls you through. When the nurse finally placed both babies in Tori's arms, she whispered, "You scared me, little one, but you're perfect." In the days that followed, the Roloff house was filled with laughter, late-night feedings, and chaos. The beautiful kind of chaos only parents understand. Zach set up 2 cribs side by side, joking that they'd be partners in crime before long. Tori decorated the nursery with soft pastel colors, blue for the boy, pink for the girl, and tiny stars all over the wall. Fans couldn't get enough of the pictures, the twins holding each other's hands, Jackson kissing their heads, Lila singing lullabies she made up herself. Tori captioned one post, "Our hands are full, but our hearts are fuller." And honestly, truer words were never spoken. As the days passed, Tori opened up more about her emotional journey. She shared how scared she'd been, how she doubted herself, and how much she leaned on Zach and her faith to get through. "Motherhood isn't easy," she said in one interview. "But it's the most beautiful thing I've ever known." Zach added, "Every time I hold them, I feel like the luckiest man alive." Their bond, already strong, seemed unbreakable now. They'd walked through fear, faced the unknown, and came out holding 2 miracles in their arms. So what's next for the Roloffs? Sources say they're taking time off filming to focus on family life. Tori's planning to share more motherhood content, while Zach wants to spend every possible moment with the kids. And of course, fans are already asking, will we see the twins on Little People, Big World? Only time will tell, but knowing the Roloffs, they'll do it with love, laughter, and honesty, just like they always have. One thing that stands out about Tori and Zach is their gratitude. They never forget where they came from, or the people who supported them along the way. Tori wrote in one of her posts, "To everyone who's prayed for us, rooted for us, or simply sent a kind word, thank you. Our hearts are full because of you." And when Zach was asked in an interview about what keeps him grounded, he said, "Faith, family, and remembering that everything we have is a gift. We've been blessed, and we never take it for granted." Those words hit deep. Because in a world full of fame and chaos, the Roloffs have managed to hold onto humility. And that's why people love them, not just for their story, but for their hearts. Amy and Chris, the proud grandparents, have become a huge part of the twins' early life. Every weekend, they drop by with food, hugs, and love. Amy's favorite thing to do? Baking cookies with the older grandkids while Zach and Tori get a few minutes to breathe. Chris often takes Zach out to the farm to work on projects, man-to-man time that Zach says helps him unwind. And Matt, the original Roloff patriarch, built a custom twin swing in the backyard. "For my grandbabies to fly high," he said proudly. It's clear, no matter what's happened in the past, the Roloff family's bond is still strong. Generations connected through love, laughter, and little footprints running through the house. Fans from all over the world continue to shower the family with love. Letters, gifts, and heartfelt messages keep pouring in. Some fans even said Tori's story gave them hope to start families after loss or hardship. Tori once read a letter aloud in tears. "Your journey reminded me not to give up. Thank you for being real." She smiled and said softly, "If our story gives even one person hope, then every sleepless night was worth it." That's the kind of impact that lasts far beyond television screens, the kind that changes hearts. 1 year later, everything feels calmer. The twins have grown into playful toddlers. Jonah loves stacking blocks, and Daisy loves exploring the garden barefoot. The Roloff house still gets loud, still gets messy, but the love has only multiplied. Tori often sits on the porch in the evenings, watching the sunset with all 5 kids around her. She once captioned a photo, "It's not perfect. It's not easy. But it's ours, and it's beautiful." Zach, standing behind her, smiled and said, "I wouldn't trade this for the world." That's when you realize, they're not just raising children. They're building memories, one imperfect, magical day at a time. The Roloff family name has always stood for love, strength, and perseverance. And with the twins' arrival, that legacy only grows stronger. Amy once said during a family gathering, "Watching my children become parents is the greatest gift of my life." And Matt, always the builder, added with a grin, "I built this farm, but they're building the future." It's more than a family now, it's a legacy of love being passed down, one generation at a time. A reminder that even when life changes, family remains the strongest foundation. Through every twist, every tear, every triumph, the Roloffs have shown us something powerful, that love is not measured by how easy life is, but by how deeply we show up for one another. Tori faced fears. Zach carried strength. Together, they built something extraordinary. A home filled with laughter, lessons, and light. Their story isn't about fame or fortune. It's about resilience. It's about ordinary people doing extraordinary things, simply by choosing love, every single day. So as we close this incredible chapter, I want you to take a deep breath and think about this. Life is unpredictable. It doesn't always go as planned. But sometimes, the detours lead to the most beautiful destinations. Tori and Zach thought they were expecting 1 baby, but life surprised them with 2. And in those tiny hands and sleepy smiles, they found new purpose, new strength, and new joy. Their journey teaches us to believe again, in hope, in miracles, in the power of family. So to Tori, Zach, and their 5 amazing kids, thank you. Thank you for letting the world be part of your story. You reminded us that love isn't perfect, but it's real, and that's what makes it powerful. As the camera fades, we see the Roloffs together on their porch. The twins asleep in their parents' arms, Jackson and Lila chasing fireflies, Josiah giggling in the background. The golden sunset paints everything in warm light. Zach looks at Tori. Tori looks at the kids. And in that moment, everything is right in the world. Because in the end, this isn't just a story about twins or fame or television. It's a story about love, raw, real, and endlessly beautiful. And maybe that's the greatest story ever told. Thank you for watching. This has been your host, reminding you that the most powerful stories aren't the ones on screen. They're the ones lived at home, every single day, with the people who matter most. Good night, everyone. And congratulations again to the beautiful Roloff family. Your love story continues to inspire us all. As weeks turned into months, the Roloffs began reflecting on what this journey taught them. Zach said in an interview, "It's not about being perfect parents. It's about being present. The kids don't care if the house is messy, they just want love." Tori added, "Motherhood humbled me. Every child we've had has taught me something new. These twins taught me patience, and how to function on 3 hours of sleep." Laughs. That sense of humor, that grace, it's what makes her so loved by fans. She doesn't pretend to have it all figured out. She just keeps showing up day after day with love. In one of her most heartfelt videos yet, Tori looked directly at the camera and said, "To everyone who's followed our journey, thank you. You've prayed for us, cheered for us, and lifted us up when we were scared. We see you. We feel your love. And we're so grateful." Zach joined her, adding, "Our family might look different. We might face challenges. But we're proud of who we are, every inch of it." It was raw, emotional, and powerful. Because it wasn't just about twins or fame, it was about connection. A family sharing their truth, and finding love in return. And now, months later, as the twins grow stronger each day, the Roloff family stands taller than ever. Tori often posts tiny moments. Jonah's first laugh, Daisy's first smile, Jackson teaching them peekaboo. Each clip feels like a chapter of a love story that keeps writing itself. Zach once said something that perfectly sums it all up: "We're not a perfect family, but we're a family that never gives up." And isn't that what we all want? To keep showing up for the people we love, no matter how messy, how tiring, how hard it gets. So as we close this chapter, let's take a moment to remember the journey. A surprise twin pregnancy. Tears of fear and tears of joy. Tiny cries that filled a home with double the laughter. Tori and Zach Roloff, two people who've shown the world what real strength looks like. Not through perfection, but through perseverance. Not through fame, but through faith. Their story isn't just a headline, it's a reminder. Sometimes life's biggest blessings come wrapped in the most unexpected packages. So to Tori, Zach, and the entire Roloff family, congratulations again. Your journey has inspired millions. And for all of us watching, may we never forget that love, hope, and faith can turn any twist into a miracle. Thank you, everyone, for joining this beautiful story. If you felt touched by the Roloff's journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming stories just like this. Until next time, this is your host, signing off with love, laughter, and a reminder to hold your family close. Because sometimes, the smallest hearts bring the biggest joy. Sometimes the most beautiful stories begin quietly, after the noise, after the chaos, after the storm. And for Tori and Zach Roloff, life after welcoming their twins has been exactly that. Quiet, steady, and full of the sweetest moments you can imagine. We've watched them walk through fear, exhaustion, joy, and pure miracle. But now, in this final part of their journey, it's not about the drama, it's about peace. It's about finding meaning in the little things. Morning giggles, bedtime snuggles, and the kind of love that doesn't fade when the cameras stop rolling. So let's step into the Roloff home once more, and see what life looks like now, months later, for the family who reminded the world that love always wins. The days in the Roloff household start early. The sun barely rises before the soft cries of baby Daisy fill the air. Jonah usually follows a few minutes later, and by then, the house is already alive with tiny sounds and laughter. Tori moves quietly through the nursery, her hair tied up, eyes still sleepy but smiling. She hums a soft tune while changing the babies. Zach, half awake but fully devoted, joins in to make breakfast for the older kids. It's a routine, messy, loud but full of love. Tori shared in one of her stories, "I used to think joy meant big moments, celebrations, milestones, cameras rolling. Now, I realize joy is found in the small moments. A baby's smile, Jackson's hugs, Lila's songs, Zach's laughter. This is happiness." That's when you realize, the Roloffs aren't just famous for being on TV. They're famous because they remind us of what really matters. Marriage changes after kids. And after 5 kids, including twins, it's easy to lose each other in the routine. But not Zach and Tori. Zach has become more than just a dad, he's Tori's partner in every sense. He takes night shifts, folds laundry, helps with homework, and even learned to braid Lila's hair. Tori once said, "Zach and I don't get fancy date nights anymore. Our dates are quiet talks after the kids fall asleep, sometimes over cold coffee, sometimes in total silence. But those are my favorite moments." That's what love looks like after years together. Not the fireworks, but the steady flame that never goes out. They've faced challenges, tears, and exhaustion, but every struggle has made them stronger. And when Tori looks at Zach, you can see it in her eyes. She doesn't just love him, she respects him. Let's talk about the older Roloff kids, because honestly, they've stolen the show in their own adorable ways. Jackson, the proud big brother, is now the protector of the family. He loves holding Jonah, talking to him about tractors, and helping Zach in the garden. He once told Tori, "Mom, I'm gonna teach him how to be strong like Dad." Heart melted instantly. Lila, the little sweetheart, has become the emotional glue of the family. She's gentle, nurturing, and loves helping with Daisy. Whenever Daisy cries, Lila rushes over saying, "It's okay, baby, big sis is here." And little Josiah, the mischievous one, loves entertaining everyone. He dances, claps, and keeps everyone laughing when things get tough. Each of them brings something special, and together, they create the perfect little symphony of chaos and love. The kind that fills a home with energy and warmth. As life settles, the Roloffs have started building new traditions around their expanded family. Friday nights are movie nights, complete with popcorn, blankets, and a pile of sleepy kids on the couch. Sundays mean pancakes and farm walks. Zach and Tori take the kids out to the fields, showing them the trees, animals, and the beauty of nature. Sometimes, they stop at the same pumpkin patch where the Little People Big World legacy began, a place that holds decades of memories. Tori shared, "Every time we visit, I think about how far we've come. From filming our first episodes to holding our fifth baby, it's surreal. But I wouldn't change a thing." These moments keep the Roloffs grounded. They may have fame, but they never let it take away the simple joy of being together. Motherhood has transformed Tori in ways even she didn't expect. In her recent vlog, she opened up about how this journey changed her outlook on life. "I used to worry about being perfect mom, perfect wife, perfect daughter. Now, I just want to be present. My kids don't need perfection. They need love, patience, and laughter." She smiled through tears, saying, "Every time I hold them, I realize they're growing, and so am I." That's what makes her story resonate so deeply with people. She's authentic. She doesn't pretend it's easy, but she shows that it's worth it. That's why fans don't just watch Tori, they relate to her. So, what started as an ordinary day turned into a story of surprise, strength, and love. Tori and Zach thought they were ready for one baby, but life gave them two. Two tiny miracles. Two reasons to believe in hope again. Two new stars in the Roloff family's sky. And if you've followed their journey from the beginning, you know this isn't just another celebrity story. It's a reminder that even after pain, loss, and fear, life can still surprise you with the most beautiful gifts. So congratulations, Tori and Zach. From all of us watching, your story touched our hearts once again. And to everyone listening, remember, sometimes the best blessings come in pairs. Previously, on the Roloff family's incredible journey, Tori and Zach's world changed forever when they welcomed not one, but two beautiful babies into their family. It was emotional. It was unexpected. It was pure magic. But as every parent knows, bringing babies home is just the beginning. What happened next? Tears, laughter, sleepless nights, and moments that'll melt your heart. So today, let's dive into part 2. The story of how the Roloffs adjusted to life with twins. Because this, my friends, is where the real journey begins. Imagine this, Zach carefully opening the door of their home, holding a car seat in each hand. Tori walks in slowly, exhausted but glowing. Jackson runs up shouting, "Mommy, babies," while Lila hides behind the couch, peeking shyly. It's one of those moments every parent dreams of. A family complete and overflowing with love. But that first night? Oh, it was chaos, the beautiful kind. Both twins woke up crying at the same time. Tori tried to feed one, while Zach rocked the other. Jackson kept asking if he could help, Lila wanted to sing a lullaby, and Josiah just laughed, clapping his tiny hands. Tori later said in her vlog, "We didn't sleep at all. Not even for 5 minutes. But I wouldn't trade that night for anything." That's the magic of new life. It's messy, it's exhausting, but it's filled with love in every corner. Now, you might think handling twins is just twice the work, but according to Tori, it's 10 times harder. In one candid video, she shared, "Feeding 2, changing 2, calming 2, it's non-stop. Sometimes I forget what day it is." Zach, always her partner in everything, tried to stay strong. He took turns waking up at night, learning how to bottle feed while half asleep. There was one adorable moment fans loved. Zach accidentally mixed up the twins' hats and didn't notice until Tori started laughing. "You dressed our son in pink again, Zach," she teased. He shrugged and said, "Color's just color. He rocks it." And the internet fell in love with him all over again. Their teamwork, even in exhaustion, reminded fans why the Roloffs have always been such a beloved couple. They're real. They're raw. They're relatable. As the days went by, Tori shared new photos, and every single one went viral. A shot of the twins sleeping side by side hit over 1 million likes in just a few hours. Fans couldn't get enough. Comments poured in, "They look like little angels. Double the cuteness. Tori, you're glowing." Even former Little People, Big World castmates sent their love. Amy Roloff commented, "I'm the happiest grandma in the world." Matt wrote, "Our farm just got 2 more reasons to smile." But while the world was celebrating, behind the smiles, Tori was quietly facing another challenge. Every new mom knows, postpartum life isn't easy. And for Tori, it was even tougher this time. She opened up in a heart-to-heart post, "Some days I feel strong. Some days I cry for no reason. Some days I feel like I'm not enough for 5 people." That confession hit fans hard. Because it showed that even the most picture-perfect families face moments of doubt and exhaustion. Zach stood by her side through it all. He said in one podcast, "Tori's the strongest person I know. She gives everything to our family. My job is just to make sure she remembers she's not alone." That's love in its truest form. Not fancy gestures, just being there. Quietly, consistently, completely. And then, another unexpected twist. About 2 weeks after bringing the twins home, their baby boy started showing signs of trouble breathing. Tori noticed it during a late-night feeding, his tiny chest moving too fast. Zach immediately called the doctor. Within minutes, they were rushing to the hospital. Imagine that fear, that helpless feeling every parent knows when something's wrong with their child. At the hospital, doctors ran tests, hooked him up to monitors, and told them he might have a mild respiratory issue, common in newborns, especially twins. Still, those hours waiting felt endless. Tori prayed quietly, holding his little hand, whispering, "Please be okay." Thankfully, after 2 nights under observation, the doctor smiled and said, "He's doing great. You can take him home." When Tori shared the update on Instagram, she wrote, "We went through the scariest days of our lives. But God showed up again. Our little fighter is home, healthy, and smiling." Fans flooded her page with messages of love and prayers. And just like that, the Roloffs turned another storm into a story of faith and strength. Back home, Amy and Chris were there almost every day, bringing food, toys, and helping with the older kids. Matt came by to build a custom twin crib, because of course, Grandpa Roloff can build anything. Even Jackson and Lila stepped up in their own sweet ways. Jackson helped fetch diapers and proudly called himself the big brother boss. Lila would sit by the crib, softly singing to the twins every night. Tori said, "Seeing our kids love their baby brother and sister, it makes every sleepless night worth it." It's moments like those that show how family isn't just about surviving together, it's about thriving together. So now the big question fans were dying to know, what did they name the twins? After days of guessing, Tori finally revealed the names in a sweet post: "Meet Jonah James Roloff and Daisy Ray Roloff." Jonah, meaning peace and dove. Daisy, meaning innocence and new beginnings. She wrote, "Jonah came into the world quiet and strong. Daisy came in fierce and loud. Together, they complete us." And yes, the names were instantly trending. Within hours, hashtags like #RoloffTwins and #JonahAndDaisy filled the internet. The love from fans worldwide proved just how much this family has touched people's hearts. A few weeks later, the Roloffs decided to do something brave, their first outing with all 5 kids. And where did they go? Of course, the Roloff farm. It was a sunny day, the fields glowing golden. Zach carried the twins in a double stroller, while Tori snapped photos. Amy and Matt joined in, and for the first time, everyone was together again. Generations of Roloffs in one picture. Tori shared it with the caption, 5 kids, 2 strollers, 0 naps, and 1 perfect day. Fans said it looked like the beginning of a new chapter, and it truly was. Because for the first time since the birth, Tori and Zach looked relaxed, smiling, truly at peace.